Welcome back to Behind the Print podcast, where we feature industry leaders and uncover the creative minds and their businesses within the world of professional printing. Our mission is to provide you with inspiring, actionable resources that elevate your business projects and accelerate your journey to excellence in profit and print. Today's episode is Behind the Print with GenTent, the world's first generator tent, and I'm here today with GenTent supply chain manager Tim and brand strategist Saloni.
Hi.
So can you guys give me a quick overview of GenTent? What do you guys do and who do you guys help?
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Saloni. I'm brand strategist. Thank you, Zoe, so much for introducing us. So GenTent is an all-weather solution to run your portable generator outside safely in inclement weather. It's waterproof and fire resistant. And basically what happens is that it's a tent that self-attaches to a portable generator to protect it from rain, snow, wind, and more. And we serve pretty much anyone who has a portable generator. So, just regular open frame generators, closed frame generators, things like that. And we also work directly with a series of generator manufacturers to create custom white label products for their product catalogs as well.
That's huge. That's awesome. So what led to the creation of this? Why do you guys need to create this?
Well, yeah. So that brings us back to the day one story where Mark, the CEO and inventor, we had a really bad ice storm back in 2008 here in New Hampshire, and it caused power outages all over the state. Some people were down for over 2 weeks. Me personally, I was impacted. I was 16 days without power during that storm. Mark was from the West Coast, so newer to the area. Didn't really have a generator at the time, like a lot of us didn't, because we didn't see anything like that cause that devastation in a long time. So he did what everyone else did. He went out to the store, got a generator, brought it back home, and when he went to go set it up, it said a couple things, it says, do not use in wet weather because of electricity, and then obviously do not use near the home because of the carbon monoxide. So those are two big problems. And he was like, that's, we're in a storm, a nice storm right now, so I can't really use it there. And he searched, there wasn't really any products on the market or anything to really satisfy the safe use of the generator. So basically, after a while, he decided, I'm going to solve this problem. And he did. And that led into the GenTent. So
That's awesome. How exciting and inspirational story. It's like you really needed it, made the product, and now you're helping tons of people. So Tim, as the supply chain manager, what are some of the biggest challenges you face in sourcing materials and ensuring the smooth production process?
So I think a lot of general supply chain managers will kind of hit the same things for general wise. And that's just the long lead times, the unpredictable like sea travels, domestic travels, and then the rates. The rates are fluctuating up and down. For our unique business, though, my biggest challenge is our product, we have a standard. It has to be a certain fire rated protected, like our canopy is NFPA 701 fire rated protected. To find suppliers, and especially in fabric, that can do that, it's very difficult. And when they say they can do it, then we have to prove it. So it takes longer for us to even get the product out there, because then once we finally get samples in, we do our own in-house testing on top of the fact that we partner up with a company in New York that does independent testing that's certified to do the testing of the NFPA 701 ratings. But that's a really important step for us, because that not only ensures us that we're giving a safe product out to the consumer, but it's doing right to the consumer by giving them the safe product.
Yeah, and it's a great extra step to do those tests, because then you're putting a product out there that's going to work for your customers, and you don't have anything to worry about.
I was just going to say thank you for hosting this podcast, because I feel like I just learned more about Tim's process than I ever knew. So that makes my job easier too, because it's so much easier to rep like a really certified product. So thanks, Zoe, for making this happen.
Of course. I'm so glad to have you guys, and your guys' prints are just amazing. But I have a question for you, Saloni. As a brand strategist, how do you approach marketing GenTent to both new and existing customers?
Okay, great question. Well, what you just heard from Tim is about the amount of like certifications we do to get our ratings and to ensure high quality. So in terms of targeting existing customers, we do that in certain ways. We obviously have promotions for accessories, things like that. But what we really pride ourselves on is the fact that for a lot of people, the GenTent kind of is a single time purchase. We really pride ourselves on the fact that we've really created a durable and long lasting solution. And I personally speak to customers, every week, every month. And it's great to hear so many people have had their GenTents for honestly over a decade. Honestly, sometimes their GenTents outlast their actual generators. So the only reason that they're actually getting a new GenTent is to fit a new generator. So it's always great to hear, like, oh wow, your product has really lasted me through so many storms and literally through multiple generators. So then when it comes to marketing to new customers, we do a lot of interest-based top of funnel targeting, and that's primarily on digital channels such as like Meta, Google Ads, etc. So this is where we're marketing on like a higher level. So we're introducing the concept of generator tents. I'm pretty sure, and you can be so frank, but prior to this interview, did you know that generator tents really existed?
No, I barely knew generators existed.
Yeah. No, and I'm in the same boat. You know how Tim was just talking about about like losing power for 16 days? We don't have generators at my house because like our grid is like on the same one as a school, so I didn't really have that problem. So when I first joined here, I learned so much and I continue to do so. But because of the fact that so many people don't even know that generator tents or generator running covers exist as a market, we really have to reach for people who are much more top of funnel and a lot more broad, right? So we're looking for people who are just, looking for generators and stuff too. People who are homeowners, first-time homeowners, people who are interested in weather or in weather event prone areas like hurricanes, snowstorms, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the people that we're targeting first and foremost to market to because we really have to make them aware of this product offering in general. That being said, one of our top sales channels is Amazon, and that's where we can really hone in on much more targeted marketing tactics. People there are obviously right at the bottom of that sales funnel. They're ready to convert. So that's where we really do a lot of like competitor advertising, make sure that we're showing up on our competitors' pages, make sure that we have sponsored ads, things like that. Something else that I will also say, obviously, since this is about print direct, is the fact that we really utilize print media. Obviously, we use that as a marketing tactic to show off our digital channels, things like that on our actual manuals. But also we really use those at trade shows. When we're talking to our OEM partners, obviously you want to give them something that's personalized and things that they can then take home or show to their higher ups, things like that. So for example, our team is going out to the National Hardware Show early next week rather. And I believe last year we gave personalized palm cards for each generator manufacturer so that we could show what their custom GenTents would look like. Things like that are so important because it just physically shows someone exactly what they're getting without having to spend or invest the money to make like an actual prototype, right? So it's so powerful. So that's a huge marketing tactic that we use as well. One sheeters that we use for carbon monoxide safety messaging, or just again, more to talk about our product, things like that. So yeah, lots and lots of marketing tactics involved here. It's exciting and busy.
Yeah, busy and exciting. I love that. That's awesome. You got a lot going on.
Mhm.
What advice would you give a business owner who's just trying to differentiate their product from a competitive niche space like your guys's?
I'd say it's really important to stand behind our USPs. So, for example, I was talking about Amazon earlier, and we have over 30 competitors on Amazon, but we continue to set ourselves apart with our incredible customer service, a stronger product, which again, thank you to Tim for sourcing that and making that possible, and just better rated products as well. That's what we stand behind. We also do a lot of we're not selling a product, we're really a safety company. And so we really differentiate ourselves by being a thought leader in that space as well. We partner with different organizations to just make sure that our messaging is out there in terms of how to use your portable generator safely. And I think that also just further gets people's minds wrapped around the idea of portable generator safety and then looking to GenTent as a solution thereafter. So if you want to differentiate yourself in a competitive space, just really own what you can in that space and then do your best to help your customers however you can.
That's great advice. That's going to be amazing.
Thank you.
What are some key milestones that have shaped GenTent's success?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So GenTent sold its first canopy in March of 2012. So that obviously was a very first thing, and I'm just bumbling now. We signed our first OEM partner, Champion Power Equipment, in 2016. So that, again, our OEM partners are really important to our business, really helps our brand equity, and they're our leading OEM partner right now. This building that we're in right now, we moved in here in 2021. Before that, it was done right out of Mark's shop at his house until that outgrew. And speaking of outgrowing, even just being in this building since 2021, we're already at the point where we're almost outgrowing this building because of the growth that we're seeing, which is phenomenal. And then leads us up. Last year, we had a record-breaking year in sales, and we're forecasted to do even more this year. So just some really exciting momentum going forward.
That's awesome. That's so exciting. I cannot wait to see where you guys go.
Thank you.
On the flip side, what are some of the biggest obstacles holding you guys back right now?
Good question. I think for us, from a marketing perspective, at least, what I can say is that we have so many competitors in the space. So that's obviously an obstacle. People are often looking for cheaper solutions, which makes a lot of sense. But without knowing the detriments of that, people sometimes just end up getting the cheapest product on the market, not knowing that it's flammable, which is obviously not ideal when you're running it over a portable generator, which can go up to like 1300 degrees Fahrenheit, the exhaust. Having something that can literally burn on fire is not great. And then something else that's a big obstacle that I usually face interfacing with potential customers or people on social media is people just not understanding the needs of the product. So many people, despite the fact that generator manuals literally say that you shouldn't run it outside in wet weather and you shouldn't run it inside the house, they're like, whatever, I just run it in my garage and nothing has happened. And I just run it outside in any weather and I've not had any issues so far. So I think just trying to educate people is definitely like one of my biggest things, and that's a concern that I have. I know Tim obviously has different concerns too on his end.
Yeah, I think more from the operational side, a lot of it really is time. It's one of that most precious things that all of us look for, especially in a small company like this. We all wear many hats. So not only, am I the supply chain manager, but I have other responsibilities, and it's the same with Saloni and everyone else that's in here. But the culture here, it's really so good. We get a really good buy-in from people because they believe in the product, they believe in what we're doing. So it really helps us overcome those obstacles of doing so many tasks just because we know the end goal and we know that what we're doing is creating a safe product for the consumers out there.
I love that. And you mentioned your core values a little bit. Can you tell me more about what guiding principles drive GenTent's team and how do they influence the company's overall productivity and success?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of our biggest ones that Mark, our CEO and inventor, will constantly talk about is ethical business practices and just basically ethical capitalism. So we strive to keep families safe, and we really pride ourselves on being a small but growing business based in New Hampshire. So that, along with philanthropy and education through our collaboration with local and national organizations to promote generator safety language, are very big things, basically very big tenets that we stand on. And they are guiding influences in how we basically roadmap different initiatives. We're always working to create superior products that we supplement with incredible customer service. So those are also basically core visions or guiding principles for us. For example, our product is top rated, it's wonderful, it's fantastic, and yet every single day we have people on the team who are testing out new versions of the product, new solutions, things that can drive us to even better solutions and greater protection. And I think very few companies actually do that, especially in this space. And then what also is important to us is just, again, driving those educational initiatives, working every day to keep people safe. Those are the things that define success for us. And I think having the record-breaking sales numbers is a wonderful follow through to that. But those are the things that really define what makes this company like drive. So to speak.
For sure. Ethical capitalism and that record-breaking year, I bet those go hand in hand with making the business successful.
Mm-hmm.
So are there any exciting developments or new products coming out soon that you can share with us?
That's a really great question. And I have to be vague, of course. This year, we do plan on announcing a really big product enhancement that we're really excited over, and we really think the consumers are going to be excited over it. And I really can't wait to share more, but unfortunately for now, I have to leave it at that. But we do plan on making a very big announcement this year.
Awesome. Well, listeners, stay tuned on what GenTent is doing because that big announcement, I bet, is coming soon. So where do you guys see GenTent in 5 to 10 years?
I would think that Mark would probably say he would want to be the most innovative consumer product company across all the Eastern Seaboard. Our new up-and-coming big announcement. And what Saloni just touched on is that we're always looking to innovate the product, even though we feel confident that we're the leader in that space. We always look to improve it.
And that's really important for any business because you're just identifying what your customers already need and then adapting to those needs and making it even better and better and better. Some businesses don't adapt to their customers, and a lot of the times that's why they can't succeed. So if you had unlimited resources for the company for 1 year, what bold dream would you guys take on for GenTent?
There's so many bold dreams that we would take on, Zoe, especially if you met Mark, you would know he is a bold guy, so he has a lot of dreams. But since I'm on the call instead of him, I'm kind of taking the onus on this one. I would personally say if we had unlimited resources, then something that I would love for us to bring more availability to and spend more time on is our philanthropic efforts. We've worked with nonprofits like Direct Relief, the National Carbon Monoxide Awareness Association, the Northeast Seal Alliance, Red Cross, to name a few. But we really want to help more people in hurricane, wildfire, and blizzard-prone areas. That's really important to us. And again, pretty much the reason that the product was created. Being in a customer-facing role to an extent, like I am often talking with the people about how the GenTent really helped them run their generators during hurricanes, especially after the really active hurricane season that we had, plus the active winter season that we just had. So we're always seeing reports on power outages and other disasters, and we're seeing the active impact that we make to these people. And so if there was a way that we could have endless resources, I think we just want to help a lot more people. That's, again, literally one of the core beliefs that this company was started on. So one of the ones that we would help continue to pursue.
That's really awesome. I love that vision. That vision's going to go a long way in the future, I feel like.
Yeah, we sure hope so.
Awesome. So if each of you had a day completely free, you weren't allowed to go to work, no responsibilities, what would you guys be doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. But we actually live in a really nice world. We have a really good work-life, family life balance here. Mark's really big on that, and we all are. Again, because we all wear multiple hats, we work really hard with what we do. So when we leave the building, we really try to let everyone just shut down and be themselves. But for me personally, I know, I mean, my kids are getting older and starting to move out of the house. So my ideal day would probably be like a nice spring or summer day where I could just do a cookout with my family, enjoy a nice meal, and just catch up and have a good conversation. That's my perfect world.
I love that.
And I think for me, again, like, yeah, GenTent really does value work-life balance. So I don't ever feel like there's days where I'm always thinking about work. But my ideal day would probably be something similar, spending time with friends, family, things like that. A low-key day on a complete 180. I might also do like a fun day trip somewhere in New England. Zoe, where are you based?
I'm in Montana right now.
Okay, what's your idea of a fun day outside of work?
You know, I like to go to the river if it's nice outside, if it's
Nice.
windy, because we do have a need for generators up here in Montana with the wind, the rain, hail, snow, we get it all. Yeah, so snowboarding in the wintertime, going to the river in the summertime, just getting outdoors.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks for asking. So where can our listeners find out more about GenTent and stay updated on the big announcement?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously you can find us at gentent.com most easily, but our socials on Facebook and Instagram are at GenTent, so simple enough. And we're on TikTok at GenTent Safety Canopies as well. So you can pretty much find us on any platform. We're also on X, we're on Threads, we're on Blue Sky now, YouTube. Just type in GenTent and you will find us very easily.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard them. Check them out on gentent.com or GenTent on Instagram and Facebook or GenTent Safety Canopies on TikTok. But that's another wrap on an episode of Behind the Print podcast. Thanks to our listeners for joining us as we have explored the artistry and innovation of the printing world. Remember, having a strong vision, building the right strategy, and using tools like print to amplify your message will make your brand stand out from the crowd. If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to get your free sample pack from printingcenterusa.com and share it with your fellow business enthusiasts. Until next time, keep those creative sparks flying and don't forget, there's always more to discover behind the print.